and welcome to the Busy Mom Summit. This is Ashley Green that I have with me, and I am your hostess, Shannon Burns. I am a personal stylist for busy moms and owner of the online boutique Layered by Cake. I'm here today with my featured guest, Ashley Green from Kaan's Designs. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
I am so excited to introduce you guys to her. I actually found her business via a Facebook ad. She has this amazing tote. So she's got a graphic design business, and she had this amazing tote that she was running a Facebook ad for. And I saw it, and the tote is like, it literally made me laugh out loud when I saw it. And I stopped scrolling in my newsfeed, and I was like, oh my gosh, that product is amazing. It says on the bag, nothing in this bag belongs to me. Mom life. Like, it doesn't
so
get
true.
more true, right?
Right.
I love it. So we're here today to chat with Ashley and just talk a little bit about her business and her inspiration that brought her through her business, and talking about, just how we can all do what we love to do, and whether that's a business. I'm going to have Ashley talk about her story and tell you guys more about that. But you can do whatever fills your cup up and still balance it all. It might be crazy, but you can definitely do it. So Ashley, I'm going to let you take over and just kind of introduce yourself and talk a little bit about how you started Kaan's Designs.
Well, it actually came out of motherhood, like so many other things do in our life. So I had just had my second. I'm a teacher first. And I was home. I took a year off after having my second baby, and it was another boy. I have two boys, Aiden and Noah. They're 5 and 3. And it's so hard to find cute boy clothes.
Yes.
And so I was one of those moms who was, really into Instagram, and I saw all these other shops popping up with different cool things. And I said, well, I still don't find anything that really speaks to my son and our experience. And so I just was like, I'm going to start making t-shirts. My husband was like, okay. And so it kind of started out of that. And then the focus sort of turned from just trying to make cute clothes into creating statement tees and things that were reflective of my daily experiences, the challenges I was having as a mother, and that cynical side but funny. And it's just been so awesome. The response has been great, and just like you said, like moms totally relate to. We're all the same. We all have some sort of connective tissue there. So I really enjoy like just selling motherhood and
Yes.
just sharing
and laughing about it too, because I feel like your products, like the t-shirts, are hilarious. I mean, I feel like if you're wearing that t-shirt, somebody is bound to comment. And right now you have on your slide or your head page of your website, I'm assuming it's your husband that's on there. Is that your?
It's actually a customer share. The first.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know. But anyhow, it's super cute. And adorable kids on the website too, like all throughout, just adorable photos. But it's the original, right? It says the original on the adult tee, and the tee says the remix. Now, like if you go somewhere with that, people are bound to comment, and you just can't help but be happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and I love it. And it actually was it was feeding my soul, because like I totally flipped out. Seriously, they probably wanted to commit me when I was in the ultrasound room. Oops. Can you still hear me? My connection just said unstable. Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
But we've got you. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I was really bummed that I never had that mini-me. I had a really close relationship with my mom, and I just always, assumed I would have a daughter. But my first son, is just like me. He's so much like me. And the mini-me term didn't really fit. So I'm like, I'm the original, and that's my remix. So it worked out really well, and it's funny. And then we came out with Noah. We came out with the encore, because after Noah, that's it. Like, you can't go again.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're gonna get. No. So he's the end. Yes, the encore. We came back one more time. Can't do it again.
I love it. That's so awesome. Yeah. That's wonderful. I love it. So, and as far as like your response to your t-shirts, like, I mean, has that brought a community for you? Do you have a community of like customers that reach out to you and just talk about the tees? Like, what has that built for you around your business?
It's been so cool to connect with so many people from around the country, around the world, that just get it, like I'm not crazy when, I flip out about carpool. I'm not crazy when, this bag, it's like, I just remember I'm in Target line, and this is like that night I went home and designed that bag. And I'm looking for my wallet, and I pulled out a dinosaur. I pulled out Hot Wheels. I pulled out fruit snacks, and I'm like apologizing to everyone behind me. I am so sorry. My wallet is in here. I just don't know where it is. Like everything was in there except for what belonged to me.
Right.
And so it's so cool to see other moms. Like, we think sometimes that we're in this bubble, and it's so cool to see other moms get it. They're connecting with it, and we can just share that experience together. So I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I do. I love it. And it's so true. And I always feel like too, when I go somewhere, and I don't know, I'm sure other moms, like, I don't freak out when I don't have my wallet. My husband freaks out because he's like, what do you mean you don't have your wallet?
Yes.
What cards are in there? And he's practically got his cell phone out, and he's like dialing up, and I'm like, relax. It's going to be okay.
Somewhere.
This is normal. This is totally normal. It'll show up. And he just looks
away. Like, I don't know. My husband says the same thing to me. He's like, I don't understand. Why do you have a purse if your wallet isn't in there? Like, it was at one point. I'm sure it was, but I have all of your kids' stuff. That's why.
Yes. And my husband is totally against. He's like anti-purse. He has this like theory. He's like, I think women's purses are the goofiest invention. And I'm just like, why? And he's like, well, you carry a purse so that you have these things with you, and then you can never find what it is there. And I'm like, okay, you kind of have a valid point there. So sometimes I'll take like extra time, like if he doesn't see me, and I'll be like, okay, I got to look for this thing.
Yes, before he asks for it.
Before he like talks bad about my purse again. Yeah.
Totally. Same, right with you.
I love
it. Or I'll like pretend like, I don't know. Or, I'll change the subject really fast.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's somewhere. Life.
Absolutely. I love it. So tell me more about the inspiration behind your business. I mean, I know it was like motherhood and you got this launching, but I can only imagine that transition had to be huge for you. Like, a lot of women in the audience, I'm sure there's a lot of them at home that would love to have their own business. And I know that I hear from people a lot that talk to me and say, oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it. How do you do all of this? Like, it's so much. Now, did you start screen printing your, do you hand screen print your products? Like, what did that transition, I guess, look like for you?
They are, I don't personally hand screen print them. I actually outsource that to a local screen printer here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. But it just, I can't really, and I have a lot of people that ask me the same questions, but it's kind of like motherhood. You just do. It's like that baby comes and you just do. And I feel like you have to just you just have to step. And I think that I use things like the Busy Mom Summit. I look to other entrepreneurs who are doing what I hope to do. Yeah. And I kind of just, well, if she can do it and she has 2 kids, or she has 3 kids, she has 5 kids, like, I can do it too. And you just have to step out there and you learn so much. Like, I've learned so much just through trial and error. And I think that those are valuable experiences that you can't get back. You can't get it all without just trying it. So my advice is always to just do it. Like, do your research. And then even if you feel like you still need to do a little bit more, still do it. Just try it. Just wing it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And figure it out.
Absolutely. Now, for you personally, what does that balance look like between, like, you've got 2 kids and your kids are younger, you said, right?
5 and 3.
Yeah. So how does that balance look like for you on a day-to-day? Because I know, like, for my personal entrepreneurial journey, it was hard for me to think like, okay, being a mom is a full-time job, but at the same time, you want to do something for you that fills your cup. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for me, that was launching my business. But balancing it, I feel like, is a really interesting journey. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things about becoming an entrepreneur. So
yes.
How do you keep your sanity with holding that all together? Like, what has helped you along the way?
besides coffee,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
is just allowing yourself mess ups. And I think just kind of mimicking the relationship that Christ has with us and just allowing yourself that grace and honestly, like bring your kids in as much as possible because I think that we have a tendency as moms to want to just like it's almost like an Instagram reel. We have this tendency with moms to only show them the best, to only show them, perfection. But I'm honest and I'm like, look, Aiden, mommy has to work. Like, look, Aiden, mommy has to ship. Mommy has to post. Mommy has to take pictures.
Yes.
Like, give me a moment, or you're going to be my model today. And I'm telling them, like, I set goals with them. I bring them into it. And I found they're not as naive as you think, and they will become invested as well. So those
Absolutely.
milestones and goals that you meet, you can actually share it with the little people in your life, and they'll be happy for you. And so then they can go back and they can say, like, my mom owns the business. And Aiden will tell me all the time, like, Mom, you're not going to put me on Can's designs. And I'm like, well, I mean, you can wear something else today. It's okay. He wants to be this walking billboard because he's seen the effects of that. So, I mean, I love it. Just bring them with you and just be nice to yourself. And you can't do everything, but you can try.
Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that. And that's such an important piece for women, especially. I feel like we are really hard on ourselves.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Don't give ourselves enough credit. I love how you're just talking about like, just do it, just get in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. You can do it. Like, and that is so my mentality about it too. If there's something that really speaks to your soul that you just feel like this is my calling and I need to do that, follow
Yes.
it, have faith in
It
it.
won't go away. It just won't. And you won't find that fulfillment anywhere else. And so you just have to go for it and you just have to pray and like I said, just take the kids, take everybody with you. My husband, he's involved in it. My kids are, and everybody is.
I love it. I love it. That's so true. And it has to be like a family effort, a group effort.
Mm-hmm.
We have a dual self-employed household. So my husband is a carpenter. And then of course I run the business. So my kids are actually here at the shop with me today. Um, Thankfully, my employee was nice enough to be like, "Oh, I'll run them down. We'll just go get, some chicken nuggets or something."
Oh
We'll
my
come back."
gosh, that is the thing. Like my husband, he has to do carpool today. That's why I was kind of late logging on to everyone else. I was because I'm like,
They don't know. No worries.
they changed it. They changed it. You have to go around the back. I'm explaining how carpool goes. So it's like, look, you got to step it up and try it out for me. You got to go pick up the shirts from the printer. So it's everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a group effort. But I also feel like, and I mean, I'm sure you'll probably agree to this, that it brings you closer together. Like
It does.
felt like our family is a closer unit than it is now because of all of the adjustments and the challenges. Because like having a business is almost like having another child, and we have
It is.
so it's, technically we have our two kids and our two businesses. So I always say we have 4 children because it takes that much energy and time to grow and build a business. But I think once you work through a lot of those challenges, like you said, it's super rewarding. And I love how you involve your kids with that as much as you can. My daughter definitely, she's a little fashionista and she loves the clothes.
Love it. See, I just love stuff like that. And you never know. Like I had shared, it got tons of engagement on social media. I had shared this picture of Aiden creating flat lays. And it's like, a 5-year-old knows what a flat lay is. But he was so, Mom, what can I sell? And I'm like, I don't know, So you never know what you are building up in them, and you're showing them through like the ultimate example. Like I took a leap of faith and I did this. So definitely, you never know what your daughter might be. So that's really cool.
No, absolutely. Right. As of now, she's convinced that she's going to be a bookseller.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from, but she wants to be a bookseller and she's going to do it out of her daddy's shop, which I'm like, there might be a lot of sawdust there.
Yeah. Who knows? It might be the hottest thing. You never know.
Exactly. But I love that she has that that entrepreneurial spirit so young, like because she sees us doing our thing, and she, again, they see the effects of that. You know, they feel it in the family, and they do have a sense of pride. You know, she goes to school and she's like, "Look at my new maxi dress," and her
Yes.
cracking up. She's like, "I can't believe she knows what a maxi dress is," and I'm like,
right.
"Oh." She's kind of influenced.
Sorry. Yeah, that's how it is. Like, sorry.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, he's so protective. Like, Mom, did you see that? You know, like, because we've dealt with like some legal issues with like copyright and stuff, and you know, he'll overhear us, and he's like, "No, Mom, I remember." You know, so he's very, very protective of that, and I'm just excited to go back and, you know, like while you were growing up, you know, I was growing something too, and you directly influenced that. Like, look how much you meant to me.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to share that with them too.
Absolutely. I love that. I'd love to hear more too, just because if there's members in the audience that are thinking about starting a business, like I've never had to deal with copywriting or anything like that. And not that I want to dive in deep to that specific issue, because that's a whole other beast.
Yes.
But more like, where did you find your best resources for starting a business for you personally? Like when you had questions about things, because I think a lot of people, if they're not familiar with the business world, they're not familiar with, you know, building an online brand or selling products. What did you feel like were the best resources for you thus far along the way? Was there a handful of them? Was it just one like really good resource that you felt like catapulted your business, or
I think that my best resource, like if you're watching this right now, like you're already right on track. My best resources were other moms just like me that were once in my, you know, position of where I was desiring something, but just not quite sure what to do. And not that I emulated them, but I took bits and pieces from everywhere that I could. And so I really focused on hearing people's story. You know, I'm a big, like, of course I love Shark Tank, but not even just looking at Shark Tank, but just looking at real world stories and watching come up. And so that was my thing. And I took bits and pieces from everyone that I could. And I saw all sources as valuable, no matter what their business was, no matter what they sold, because we're all coming from that place of not knowing and trying to know and trying to grow. So if you were a mom and you had a business, like I was all over that. I didn't care what it was. You could sell flowers, you could sell concrete, you know, I didn't care. Like, okay, how did you do this? How did you balance? Where did you start? And I think that's the beauty of where we are right now. Like, there's so much information out there about e-commerce that you can do it a million different ways and be successful. So just start here. Like, start.
Yes.
That's the only thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, did you feel like, were there any setbacks in your business that you felt like, I don't know if this is right, because I know for my journey, I had a lot of, and now I'm going on 2.5 years in my business, and I'm just really starting to see the fruits of all that labor. Because for me, I felt like I not only had personal development and growth to go through with like my family and the balance and just me personally, but also learning the business. And
yes.
So this year it's finally kind of come to fruition. I've worked my business part-time with, you know, balancing my family and all of those things. So I felt like sometimes I would beat myself up over how long the journey's taken me, or.
Oh my gosh, girl, we are just speaking the same language. Yeah.
That's why I thought I'd ask you, because I really want to hear your opinion on this.
Yes. Like, honestly, this wasn't actually the first thing that I started doing. Okay. And I actually had a boutique, just like you. It was an online boutique. Yeah, crazy. I was actually doing it with a friend. But I really think that you have to, and that's where that soul searching comes from. And if you have a beast growing inside of you, go with that. And go with go with what God has placed on your heart, not someone else's.
Absolutely.
And so, and that's another thing, like whatever it is that you're going to do, that's why I said, like, if you sell flowers or concrete or stationery, whatever it is, make sure that it speaks to you, because other people are going to get that. You know what I'm saying? They can see, I think we all connect with authenticity. And so it has to be authentic from the beginning. And so with the boutique, it was moving, but it would never really go. And so I had to be honest with, at the time, my business partner, and honest with myself and say, you know what, I don't want to do this. So being able to walk away was a lesson in itself. Absolutely. And that taught me a lot about what to do, what not to do. But then when you started something alone, and it was something that you really, really loved, like you said, you compared your business to your kids. You love them almost, you love your business almost as much as you love your kids. Like,
Absolutely.
really. So that was a challenge in itself. And you just have to be patient and you have to be gentle and you just have to stay the course. And
Yes.
it was like almost every single time I wanted to give up, order would come through and just like, well, now I have to ship that, and so
Nothing,
it
right?
kind of just
Exactly.
kept coming, and it did. We had our 2nd year anniversary in August,
Oh,
and just then did it start to like really go, and it's like, wow, and so it's fun. It really is, but be patient with yourself and really find something that you love and that you want to hold on to. Because that helps you when it gets hard, and it does. It gets so hard, and it's so lonely, and it gets so boring sometimes because you're like, and sometimes you feel like nobody gets it because you are a mom and you're in preschool line on your phone posting on Instagram, and it's like, okay, the teacher's here. I have to, I feel like the teachers think I'm a horrible mom because I'm always on the phone. But it's like, no, I'm with my business. I'm not just, gossiping or something like that. So you just got to keep going and do what you can.
Yes. And that's such a valid point too, because it's not, it's that community that you surround yourself with, and it changes as your growth and development.
Yes, it does.
And as your business continues to grow, the people that you surround yourself with end up being more people. It's so weird how that networking happens too. Like, you start to get more people in your life that are entrepreneurs, that are moms. Like, now I have a huge network of friends who are moms and entrepreneurs, and I'm continuing to reach out, just like I reached out to you,
Yes, and I love it. And it's like, oh my gosh, somebody gets it. And and you just have to hold on to those people and bounce things off of them. Like when we were talking, I got so many nuggets out of that 15-minute conversation, So
which is amazing. And same with me too. And what I love is that everybody brings different talents to the table. Like, for example, and a perfect example was our conversation that we had prior to this interview, that 15-minute call that we had. There's just different ways that we run our business. We have different perspectives. We have different, and collaborating. Like, I actually have a whole group of other boutique business owners. It's a group on Facebook that I'm a part of. And that has been such an amazing resource. And a lot of people from the outside that aren't in that business mode, or when you first start, you're very afraid of competition. You're very afraid.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And it's so nothing to be afraid of. Like, it's actually better to collaborate with people that are in the same industry and niche that you are, because what differentiates you guys is that authenticity. And that's what I love about how you mentioned the authenticity, because it is so, so important to be authentic from the very beginning. And that really becomes the core of your business.
Absolutely. And that's why you have to make sure that your business is your business, just as uniquely created as your children are, whether they're biological or not. They're still meant for you. So the business is the same way. You have to make sure that it's tailored for you and that it's something that's on your heart, because you can't be afraid of competition. And to be honest, I was at the beginning. It felt like everyone had a t-shirt shop. Everyone was selling baby leggings or moccasins or whatever the thing was. But I had to give what was me. And that was the original and the remix. That was Carpool Mafia. Like, I'm a very cynical parent. I'm a very, I'll find humor in it. Sometimes I don't want to go pick up my kids. Sometimes preschool is way too short and I need a little bit more time. So, I will pay that extra tuition for lunch month, whatever the situation is. I'm not running to pick up my kids. And that's okay. There's other moms that feel the same way, and we need a break. So
no kidding.
I'll laugh about it.
No kidding. And I totally relate to with the phone, wait, I just need to post on Instagram real quick because it's that time, my alert went off and I have to.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it to anybody who doesn't know.
I know. And they're like, okay. I'm really listening. I had to talk to my son. He had a little confrontation with another kid, and we're in carpool line, and she's coming up and she's talking to me, and I'm like, yes, I'm really listening. I'm sure you have learned to multitask on your phone. You can do a million different things, posting, emailing, And an important message came through from the post office. I had to respond right away. I'm like, okay, huh? Yes, I will talk to you. So I don't know. Maybe she thinks I don't know what she thinks, but it's okay.
Well, and that's hard too. Like that whole part of being a parent. Like I know for me, I'm really hard on myself. The other day, so in the mornings, my daughter goes to a charter school and she has to be dropped off at 9 a.m. But my son goes to preschool twice a week and he also has to be at school at 9 a.m. And we are a 25-minute drive apart from each other because my son's preschool is on the way into my shop. So I work on the days that he's in preschool because then I don't I'm kid free. Right. So what's hard is that getting the neighbor, because I also take the neighbor girls, we carpool, right? So they come here, and I take all the girls to the first school. I have to drop them off, 20, 25 minutes early and then take my son in. And we are guaranteed late every single day. Like every Tuesday and Thursday, my son is late to preschool. And I walked in yesterday and I told the teacher, I was like, so I've pretty much come to terms with the fact that I don't think I'm ever going to be on time. And I told her, I was like, it's not that I'm giving up. I don't want you to think that I'm giving up on this because I do want him to be on time and I do value him being on time and you starting preschool on time. But I'm just telling you, it may not.
I'm accepting it. It's not, it's not a surrender. It's just an acceptance because sometimes you just have to do that or you'll beat yourself up for forever.
Exactly.
I'm just accepted. I'm not going to be that perfect, Are you baking anything for the bake sale, Mrs. Green? No. I will buy you something. I will buy you whatever you want. But no, I'm not because I don't have I just don't. I don't have time for that.
And did you happen to watch Bad Moms? Did you see that?
Yes.
Can you talk about how much it speaks to your heart? Even my husband was like rolling. He was like, this is.
Yes, it was so funny, but so true. So true. And then my husband don't even call me, you're a bad mom. I am. I'm a bad mom. But I actually have a shirt that says Bad Mama Jamma. And
yes, I love that one.
It has nothing to do with the song. It's just because I have to remind myself that came, after a meltdown. And it's like, you know what? You have a business. You are still teaching. And, you're a bad mama jamma.
Yes.
Sometimes you just have to pat your own self on the back.
Absolutely. I think we are our own worst enemy in a lot of ways, especially with the journey of being an entrepreneur. It's so up and down. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme. They have this meme that's going around on Facebook recently and some of the business groups that I'm in, and it cracks me up because it's like, this is the emotional chart of the day in an entrepreneur. And it's like, oh my God, I'm bankrupt. Oh my gosh, no, I'm okay. And it's like this chart that just goes up and down.
It's by the hour.
Yes.
So emotionally invested and it's like, okay, and you take things so personally. I don't know why. I'm working on that. I really am because sometimes it's not healthy, but I have the Shopify app. That's our platform, which is great. If you guys want to start a business, definitely check out Shopify.
Absolutely.
Start there first. Don't look anywhere else. Just go for it. Just start with that one. But we have the app and it makes you want to do a happy dance. The first time you hear it, it's a little cha-ching.
That's what I was going to say, girl. I love that cha-ching.
It was like Pablo's, the psychologist that did the bell with the dog.
Yep.
That's me. I'm that dog. If I don't hear the cha-ching for a while, I'm like, oh my gosh, Kenny, they don't like me anymore. I'm going out of business. And he's like, are you crazy? It does not matter how many orders I've received that day, what the quarter is looking like. If I don't hear that cha-ching, where is it? And my phone maybe on silent or something, but I'm like.
And then you start frantically checking your Facebook ads or you're checking your Instagram. Did I not post it? Maybe I did.
What happened? Is someone unhappy? Did someone write a negative comment? Oh my gosh, I've become the dog.
It's crazy. No, I totally agree. And it's definitely something that is, I feel like I've just kind of passed that phase in my journey where I don't freak out as much anymore. You could probably agree. Yours is more seasoned now. I love too that you have the same time frame that I do, that 2 years, because it feels like you're launching it and there's so much excitement about this new baby, right? Essentially. birthing, you know, it's this new thing that's from your soul, something that you are just so excited to unleash to the world.
Right.
You know, you might have a lot of hype in the beginning, you might not. Like, I didn't have a ton. I had some hype in the beginning, not a ton. It fizzled out really fast. And for me, I had to find my voice through my business. You know, I run my boutique very differently from any other that I've seen out there. I offer for free personal styling, and
I love that.
And it's something I target moms who have lost their confidence through motherhood. And that's because that happened to me. That was my experience.
Right.
So I had to get really creative and figure out a way to reach that core customer. And that was really challenging for me. I had to learn marketing techniques, things that I just wasn't equipped with, you know, I didn't know those. They didn't come natural. So I had to seek out that information. And it's just such a wild ride, but I'm so glad to see that, like, your journey, because t-shirt companies, I feel like they boom really, really fast. But it's not for you.
No.
I mean, not that it's good. I'm just glad that we, you know, for the people in the audience too, like, know that it takes time.
It takes time, no matter what it is. And I think that that's what you have to be careful about. Right. Is I think when you're seeking information, even listening to this interview, it looks like, you know, we're talking about cha-chings and not getting them for a while, and people may not get them for days. So I totally have been there too. I think that everyone posts their highlight reel, and that's what you have to remember about coming into an e-commerce business. Like, I'm not going to tell you if sales are dead. Of course not. I'm going to show you, you know, mountains of packages. So I think you just have to remember that everyone is posting the best. So it's okay. You know, you don't know what it looks like behind the scenes. And that's why creating, you know, a community and having things like the Busy Mom Summit is so important, because you need to peel back the covers and really see, okay, she is just as much of a hot mess as I am. So, you know, okay, so I should keep going at this. And it's hard. And even as you grow, like, sales is not my challenge anymore. And I feel like that I'm learning marketing, but it's like now it's process. And, you know, so as you grow and once you tackle one thing, it's always going to be something else. Absolutely. And that's what I'm coming to terms with. It's like, geez, I thought, you know, I had this, all I thought I needed was sales. You know, all I thought I needed was exposure. Nope. I mean, now you got to figure out how to balance the sales and the process. And, you know, the United States Postal Service losing 55 packages. Like, how do you handle that, you know, while still staying true to who you are? So it's hard, all of it.
Yes. And learning to enjoy that, like, that next challenge is just, you have to face it with, like, more grace. You have to face it with more positivity. Because, like we had discussed on our off video call before this, we were talking about Pinterest ads. And, you know, that's kind of my next step. And everything is a baby step. You know, you start out not knowing all of it, and it can seem really, really overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, I think I need to have a really good website. And I think I need to have, like, you don't really know. So it's like you take these little baby steps, and you really just have to kind of, and I agree with you too about, like, we're having that same issue now that sales are coming in pretty consistently, and we have the growth of the business. And now I'm already on to the next step, though. I'm already like, ooh, we made this. We did that goal. Like, that was a year ago. I made that. Now I want to do the next step. So how do we do that?
And you have to just keep feeding. You have to, it's like a baby. Like, you go through your terrible twos.
Yes.
And it's like, now, you know, I love that my son is now 3, and I love that age. I loved it with Aiden, and I'm loving it with Noah. They're so funny. And so it's like the golden year for me. But still, it still poses the same challenges. And so, like you said, you just have to keep going and keep feeding it. Never become stagnant. Like, never think that because you've tackled one thing, like we were talking about with Pinterest ads. I haven't ran my first one yet, but it's like, oh, so I got Facebook. Like, let me try this. Like, always, like, continue to feed your baby. Like, continue to grow and expand. And even if it doesn't work, one thing that the business has taught me that I'm able to share with my kids and share with anyone else, especially those wanting to start a business, is you have to be willing to give. You have to be willing to mess up. You have to be willing to waste money. Like, and I know that's the part that really sucks. That's the part that really, really hurts.
Yes.
Especially if you're starting from nothing.
Yes.
And it's like, money. I don't have money, but it really does take money to make money.
Yes.
And you're going to find you lose money before
Yes.
you make money because
You're
you're learning, but you can't be afraid. Like,
yes.
if you're writing a business plan, which I didn't, like, I'm just now starting to really write a plan.
I love it.
I just
actually, I still don't have one, and it's not on the list.
It's kind of like I'm just winging it, I'm just a kid on the playground. Put that in there. Say, I'm going to allow myself some grace. I'm going to allow myself some growth. And, I'm going to try these marketing techniques or influencers or whatever it is, whatever route you decide to take. And giving, financially is part of that. And that will teach you faster than anything because we don't like to lose money. So
absolutely. It hurts. Yes. And I've been very, very fortunate in the fact that like my husband's business has been able to carry us through me growing this business. Until it was able to kind of stand on its own, but I still take the majority of my profits and dump it back into my business because I do want to try the next thing. I do want to take a risk on growing my personal development and education for my business. There's so many things. And also my business has grown so quickly that I've had to put a lot of that money back into the business to help feed the demand because if you're an inventory beast, you've got to put that money back in to buy more inventory to feed the growing community. So, which is not a bad problem to have. I'm grateful.
I think that's another thing, and that's what conversations like this again are so important because I think that people will see your sales or they'll see your photos, the shares, and they'll assume that like you're living large now. It's like no, honey, like that. When I say feed my baby, I mean literally feed my baby, and just like I have tuition and I have all those other things for my real kids. This kid requires some things too, and you kind of have to. It is motherhood. It's an extension of motherhood. When you are a woman, or a mom, in business specifically, it's an extension of that because you have to selfishly, continuously give your time, your energy, your faith, your hope to this thing that you want to grow. And part of that is dumping everything you get right back into it.
Absolutely.
So absolutely.
I love it. Well, Ashley, we're like right at 40 minutes for all.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's been so much content in here that is so helpful. I know that the audience is, if you guys are aspiring entrepreneurs or there's something that just really lights your soul on fire, like this, you're right. This is the type of conversation. These are the things you need to seek out. Now, my last question for you before we kind of wrap up, where have you found that inspiration? Like, do you listen to I'm a big podcast listener.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's what I kind of thought. Maybe you can give the audience a few tidbits on like people that you've enjoyed listening to. Now, granted, I know that it's very personal. Everybody has somebody, there's different mentors that speak to me that don't necessarily speak to my other friends who are business owners. I think it kind of depends on what you're interested in going in, but I'm curious to know, like, where have you found that inspiration and found that conversations like this so they can find more inspiration to fuel that want to be an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. I am a podcast person for sure because it's easy to throw on while you're in the car or cooking dinner. YouTube is another favorite, but some people specifically is I really followed Susan Peterson's story from Freshly Picked. She was awesome because I know she was a mom.
Yes.
And
I'm jotting this down. Sorry.
Yeah, she picked up, she started on Instagram. Yes. And she really is a great example of starting a social media based business. And even now that she is a multi-million-dollar business and she's on Shark Tank and all of those things, she's even spoken to and she continues to speak to how that business is looking different now and how it's changing and how you can't just make a post and make a sale. So you have to do some things differently. So she was awesome, but just to I love people that not only inspire me or give me information, but I'm that copy and paste girl. I'm that girl that likes to see me and you. And so if I can say, okay, you didn't have money when you started because I didn't. I started with $200. That was all that we could financially spare at the time. And so it was like, wow, like you can really do something off of $200. And
Yes.
so I wanted to see myself in her shoes. And she even talked about, she didn't even have anything to start with. So she was awesome, and she has a lot of information out there.
Now,
Podcast.
she has
Yep.
a podcast like channel that you can subscribe to? Like she does it
She
consistently?
doesn't, but if you just Google,
Okay.
Google her name, Freshly Baked Susan Peterson,
Okay.
you can find out information about her. My favorite podcast to listen to, because, guys, seriously, he's filled with so many stories, like random things that you're like, oh my gosh, these are amazing people. Is Passive Income.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the Passive Income podcast is amazing, like amazing.
I've totally heard of it. I haven't checked it out, but I will now that you mentioned it.
Yes, subscribe.
I haven't had a chance. I will.
Listen to it all the time. That's my favorite, Passive Income, because he features different entrepreneurs in different segments that have created, passive income, making income mostly on e-commerce, where it's not your traditional job or it's not a brick and mortar store.
Exactly.
And you're making income, in a different millennial new age way. And these people have been able to walk away from their full-time jobs or, retire at 30 years old because they've sold their business. Yes. So, and he really speaks to the digital age, which I know we've talked about before, really fuels our business. Yes. And I think we'll soon have to influence all businesses.
Absolutely.
So, he's awesome to listen to. Like, the stories, like he talked about football coach who was able to start selling his plays, a librarian who realized that there weren't lesson plans created for librarians. So she started to do that. So really, he helps you really think about what problems you can solve. And the best thing I ever heard from him was, do what you're already doing, just do it a little bit better. And I was, oh my gosh, that takes care of everything. That takes care of your soul, that takes care of you being authentic and creating something that you can subscribe to forever, because it's what I already do. Just do it better. So
I love that. That's a great way of saying it, because that's how I feel. I always, when I'm talking to somebody who's interested in being an entrepreneur, but they have no idea what it is they want to do, I tell them to read Leveraging the Universe, which I always tell them to read that book. It's my favorite. Read Leveraging the Universe, do a little bit of soul searching, and take and start with your existing talents. Start with your talents already lie, because you on your own personal journey have probably already gone down a path that was appealing to you.
Exactly.
Otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, miserable. And if you're miserable, shift gears and be like, oh,
exactly. What is it that you want to do? And the good thing about that is you kind of already know. It's just that you need to do that soul searching. You need to dive into a little bit longer, find the Susan Peterson Passive Income podcast that really speaks to you. Yes. That helps. And the last thing that really helped me on my journey is, don't be afraid to ask. Like, I think sometimes they might look at you, they look at Shannon like, oh my gosh, she has this amazing business, and she's a personal stylist, and it's like, we're not these big Wizard of Oz people that you can't come up and talk to. Like, reach out and just send an email. Just send a Snapchat, send whatever you have. Yes. Say, hey, look, I saw this, and you do that really well, and I want some help. And then as women, when you are successful or you have learned a little bit, don't be afraid. Like you were mentioning about competition, don't be afraid. Like, share. Like, create a community from the beginning. Like, because you need it. Absolutely. So just create it from the beginning, and just don't be afraid to ask, but also don't be afraid to share, because even if you're just starting and you feel like you don't have anything to give, you do. You have perspective. So
that's so true.
Definitely just share. Join groups on Facebook and just tell people what it is you want to do.
Yes. And to add, just to piggyback on that too, when you're asking somebody for information, don't ask them super generic questions. Just because, not that like I don't want to share everything, but it is a journey. So know it's a journey. There's not one person that's going to be able to give you all the answers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And more than anything, I think it's more appropriate to ask people for resources more than like,
exactly.
Because when you do approach somebody who has a thriving business, it can often appear to that person like Oh, so you're asking for like all my secrets or what are we doing?
Exactly. Yes, that's why you have to give too.
Yes.
Because
So
I felt like that. Like, honey, do you know how many late nights it took to get here? You know, so and don't just and that's the thing. Like when you educate yourself from the beginning, you know it's not easy. And you
yes.
know, like we didn't just wake up and have these things or have this business. So respect the journey too. And know that you're gonna have to go because I can't be you and you can't be me. So you're going to have to go through your own hurdles and it might look totally different than mine, but I'm willing to help you help yourself and I'm willing to help each other. But again, it's not like, so, where do you get your teachers from and how do you make them? That's my favorite.
I get that question a lot too. And
Really?
not like vendors, like where do you find your product?
Yeah, but can you just send me the website of where you get all your teachers? Like, no, nope. If you
Yes.
find it, I'll give you some tips. But it's like those are my babies, so I wouldn't just hand over my kid's blood. So
Yes, absolutely. And that's such a great point. And that's why I wanted to bring that up too, is like if
yeah,
you're reaching out and asking for information, be appropriate. Like
yes,
be respectful of
yes.
somebody's business and how hard they've worked for that.
Yeah. Know where
Don't
you get your feelings.
yeah,
Like
yeah, like
Ashley
don't
said, ask. No, 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 no. There's a way.
yeah, exactly. Don't expect everything to be handed to you on a silver platter because it didn't happen
Yes.
for any of us.
Hard.
Just have some grace in that process, but definitely collaborating is one of the best ways to reach out and just ask for help because there are so many people. I've helped so many people. I've mentored so many women, so many moms in business. One, it fills my cup. I'm super passionate
Yes.
about it. I love chatting business with people just like we're doing today. This is like my favorite topic ever. Besides
You learn so much.
you do. It's such an amazing journey. So, all right, Ashley, well, we're going to wrap it up there. And I hope these ladies in the audience, I jotted down quite a few notes today. I'm super inspired by your journey and what you're doing. And if you guys haven't checked it out, I want you to give them the spelling of the website. We're going to put the link below anyway, but go ahead and give them the spelling of your website and where they can go check out your products.
Yes, for sure. Like if you're a mom or even if you're not a mom, we have products out for moms too. The spelling of our website is www.kansdesigns.com. And that Cans comes from it was actually my husband's idea. It just comes from all of our names. My name is Ashley. My husband's name is Kenny. We have Aiden and Noah. So it was kind of like we knew from the beginning that it was based on our family. It was going to take our family, and that's what we wanted. So
that's perfect. I love it. It's so wonderful. And you guys have built an amazingly beautiful brand, just like an extension of how beautiful your family is. And I know that because I know how that journey is for me too. So
it's hard, but they're good. They're great. They're all great.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Ashley. I couldn't be more blessed or grateful to be here with you today. And, we will go ahead and sign off. Make sure you guys check out Ashley Green at Cans Designs. Her products are amazing. She's got stuff for dad, for baby, for toddlers, and mama. So check it out. You guys will love it. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.